So I grew up a lot of the times in the village, where I learned how to play the tambourine, the kayamba, the drums, in the church in Ukambani, where I grew up. And over the years, I went into, of course, the music festivals, because I went to the local schools. I took part in all the music festivals, and that's where my love for music always grew. But I always had a very keen interest in the violin and the piano. But even as a very young child, it just seemed like a very far away dream. But I remember, although in school, I went to Kilimani Primary School, and we had a very old piano, and I always wonder whether that piano is still there. And I used to spend a lot of time playing just notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I used to spend a lot of time. We were not allowed to play, but every time I got the opportunity, I'd go behind the hall, behind the curtains, and play. And it's just something that I always loved. And I remember saying to myself that if things went well for me, I would make sure that my children learned the piano and the violin and all that. And so one fine day, I took my son for, he was about 4 then, for a piano lesson, because I couldn't play because I didn't know how that went. And so I remember asking this teacher, I remember it was a Methodist guest house, and I always wonder where that teacher went. I asked him if it was, it just came out. Is it too late for me to play an instrument? And it's what he said to me then that is the reason I am where I am today. Because he said, you're never too old, never too late. You can learn an instrument or anything at any age. It doesn't matter. And I was 37 at the time. And that's how I started. I was Jadini's lesson, but I signed up, and both of us used to go for lessons. And, that's what actually happened. The violin produces, you can play any genre of music with it.
Okay.
Any genre of music. Mostly it's usually identified with the classical music, but with the world that we're in today, you can play Kiswahili music, Sauti Sol music, you can play Kikuyu music, any music. Violins are usually best accompanied. You can play them on their own, but when they're accompanied with the piano, they bring out more, there's more life, and it's much better because the piano, you see, it only has 4 notes at the basis, just the 4 notes. But of course you can create other notes by using your fingers. For example, if you want to play the G major, it's not an easy instrument to learn, but it's a very nice instrument. It's very versatile. You carry it everywhere with you, as opposed to and actually that's how I moved from the piano to the violin, because the piano you can't carry it with you on holiday. You have to. It's a massive instrument. So this is how I ended up with the violin. Music is my passion, but I do run a few businesses on the side, and I do teach music part-time. Although I haven't been doing that of late because I'm so busy in my other job. But when I get time, I do love to teach when I get time. Yeah, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm married with 3 children, and I must say my family has supported me so much. My first instrument, even just getting into this journey, my husband really supported me into the choir. In fact, he bought me my first clavinova. I think when you start an instrument, according to my opinion, I think I would advise anybody, if possible, to start on the piano, because the piano has both the bass, the alto, and the soprano part, and then you're able to play both hands. By the way, it's very good for hand coordination, brain and hand-eye coordination.
Yeah.
It's very good. It gives you a basic of just the basis of music and just how the notes flow and everything. I passed my grade 6 exams. Because I've been at the school for a long time, I got my job here where I teach on part-time basis, although I'm not teaching at the moment. Yes, you can earn a living out of this, especially because you're so passionate about it. For me, it's got to be something that you love first before you make a living out of it. It's one of these things that as a parent you can impart to your children, and you'll only benefit from it, you know, in the end.
In the end. Is a video series that goes behind the scenes with creators, movers and shakers to learn how they create their products and services. The videos tell the authentic stories of how these creators have been able to turn their passions into a lifestyle and a living. Are you or do you know someone who should be featured in the show? Drop me a line or tweet me through my contacts below. Oh yes, please subscribe, share and tell your friends about this series. Thank you.